Donald Trump has given out a big warning to Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump said that he would sanction Russia if Putin does not negotiate with Ukraine. This big statement coming in from Donald Trump. He's now saying the United States will not shy away from imposing sanctions on Russia if Vladimir Putin does not negotiate with Ukraine.
If Vladimir Putin doesn't come to the table to negotiate with you, will you put additional sanctions on Russia?
Sounds likely.
And do you think that the war should be frozen currently along
the war should have never started. If you had a competent president, which you didn't, the war wouldn't have happened. The war in Ukraine would have never happened if I were president. But that couldn't happen because the election was rigged.
Geeta Mohan still with me on the story. Geeta, there were two wars that rocked the entire globe. One war was the one that we saw between Israel and Hamas, a ceasefire there, and the other war was the Russia-Ukraine war. Donald Trump on day one very clearly saying that the US will not shy away from imposing sanctions on Russia.
Well, that's right. The fact that Donald Trump has, despite all the news that came in about his that the support that he receives from Russia and that things could change, that there are closer ties between Trump and Putin. He has been rather tough. He's been talking about sanctions and that he is going to pressure Putin. But what is going to be more important is not just him looking at sanctioning Putin. He's also made a very clear statement on the fact that there needs to be a negotiated peace in Russia. It is a European war and the US would not want to be involved for a very long time. So what could spell trouble for that part of the world is not just the fact that there could be sanctions against Russia, because Russia is already under sanctions. What could be a massive trouble for Europe is when Donald Trump decides that he no longer wants to continue aiding this war, aiding Ukraine in this war against Russia. And if that happens, if that pullout really happens, then it would spell disaster. So he is going to push both Russia through sanctions, Ukraine through messaging of pulling out aid, to go to the negotiating table, negotiate peace, and if concessions are required on both ends, concede areas, but negotiate peace.
Thank you, Geeta, giving us details and putting things in perspective. At the moment, it's Russia that is on the target of the United States of America.